Today I'm covering a topic that a lot of you have been asking about, which is how to balance strength and flexibility if you want to work on both at the same time. Balancing these two is important because if you don't pay attention to certain aspects of your training, your strength program can cancel out all the results you can get from your flexibility program. This negative impact comes mostly by the muscle soreness that strength training causes. As I've explained in a previous video, muscle soreness is the #1 enemy of your flexibility gains, simply because it prevents you from training effectively close to your max range. So here I'll share a 4-step process that you can use to ensure that soreness and overall fatigue from your strength program don't interfere with your flexibility progress at all. The first step is to identify which exercises in your strength program target the same muscles you're trying to get flexible. These are the exercises that you'll need to treat differently, so it's important to spot them first. To give you some examples, if you're working on your hamstring flexibility, strength exercises that target them include deadlifts, Nordic curls, 90-degree back extensions, and more. On the other hand, if you're focusing on the side split, you're mainly targeting the adductor muscles, which are activated by exercises like the dip squat, sumo squat, Cossacks, and more. If you don't want to get too specific, you can simply group them together. So if you're working on your lower body flexibility, consider all the lower body strength exercises relevant, and the same goes for your upper body flexibility goals. Either way, the first step is to identify which strength exercises of your program target the same muscles you're trying to get more flexible. Then, the second step is to use 3 practical rules when performing these strength exercises that aim to minimize soreness. So let's see these rules. Rule number 1, don't change exercises, methods, or training variables too often. Research shows that muscle soreness is caused mainly by unaccustomed training stimuli, meaning doing new things. If you're constantly switching things up, your muscles will keep trying to adapt to the new movements and demands of your program. This makes it more likely to get sore. So, the more consistent you are with your exercise plan, the less soreness you'll experience. Rule number 2 is to train these strength exercises with the lowest intensity that still gives you results. So, instead of using the maximum weight you can lift for 10 reps, use slightly less. Or, rather than going all the way to failure on every set, stop 2 to 3 reps before failure. As I presented in detail in another video, research shows that training all the way to failure versus stopping a few reps short doesn't make a significant difference for hypertrophy gains. Therefore, the extra reps may just increase your soreness without necessarily improving your results. Overall, if you're not a high-level strength athlete, small adjustments in your training intensity won't make a noticeable difference in your strength goals, but they can be game changers for your flexibility goals. And rule number 3, avoid loading the end range on these specific exercises. For example, if you're doing a good morning for your hamstrings, don't go all the way to your max range. Instead, stick to about 70 to 80% of your range. Your hamstrings will still get stronger and grow just without causing much soreness. Now, as some of you might know, recent studies have shown that loading the end range may lead to better hypertrophy gains. This is true, but also consider that part of the reason why this happens is the higher muscle damage this practice causes. This of course leads also to higher levels of soreness. So if you're serious about your flexibility goals, during the relatively short period that will take you to achieve them, avoid loading the end range on these particular exercises. There are plenty of other ways to increase hypertrophy without increasing soreness, and if you want evidence-based guidance on how to do that, you can check my dedicated videos on that topic. By following these 3 rules during your strength workout, you'll make sure you keep soreness at the lowest possible level, which is what the second step is all about. The third step of this process is to have the optimal workout split. In general, it makes sense to train flexibility before the days you train strength and give plenty of time until the next session. However, things get more complicated if you have multiple training sessions per week. To make it easier for you, I made a few boards with the training splits I propose. So if you're training flexibility only 1 time per week, your split should look something like this with 1 strength session, like this with 2 strength sessions, and like this with 3 strength sessions. Note that as strength training sessions, I count only sessions that activate the target muscles of your flexibility program. On the other hand, if you're training flexibility 2 times per week, your split should look something like this with 1 strength session, like this with 2 strength sessions, and like this with 3 strength sessions. And these are the workout splits for those training flexibility 3 times per week. These of course are not absolutes, but only logical recommendations that are based on optimizing the order of your training components and the recovery time between them. Now, before I get to number 4, if you enjoyed the video so far, make sure to subscribe for more videos like this. So after you identify the strength exercises you need to treat differently, understand the 3 rules that will keep soreness at bay, and optimize your workout split, it's time for the last step, optimizing recovery. Your body will be taking a lot of beating, so doing everything you can to aid recovery will significantly improve your results. Things like foam rolling, light stretching, and low-intensity active movements on your rest days will speed up recovery and leave you in much better position for your next session. And this is the 4-step process I recommend for balancing strength and flexibility during the same period. Now keep in mind that this process is something that you only need until you reach your flexibility goals, not after. Maintaining flexibility is very easy, so when you reach your goals, you'll be able to practice anything you want with full freedom of movement. If you want to discover the 3 undeniable ways that flexibility increases strength, you can watch this next video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.